Welcome, College of Eastern Idaho students, staff, and faculty to Falcon Features with Mike and Lori, Lori and Mike. Today, as always, I have my wonderful co-host, Vice President Lori Barber.
And I have my wonderful co-host, I got to get this in. I have my wonderful co-host, Dean Mike Walker.
Well, it's so good to be here, and it's good to have our show again today. And it's great to be here with Lori, who has so much going on and recently went to Bozeman. So tell me about that. Tell the group, tell us about that.
So we just went and toured a building that they have a tech building there, and as we look to expand the campus, we're just looking at different buildings. And anyway, it was great. It was wonderful to go meet and collaborate with other people for a while.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get right down to brass tacks.
Let's do it. Shall I do the quote, Mike?
Let's do it.
All right. So it's still a little weird that we have a name for this now instead of just updates. We actually have Falcon Features. So, all right, my quote today comes from Will Durant. He's an author and a historian. Mike and I are both historians, so we always love the historian quotes. So he wrote, quote, "Forget mistakes, forget failures, forget everything except what you're going to do right now and do it. Today is your lucky day," end quote. And you know what? Today is everyone's lucky day, even if you are facing hardships, which I know many of us are. So no matter what happened yesterday or even 5 minutes ago, that doesn't have to define you. So really anything is possible from this moment forward. So just move forward no matter what happened yesterday, and yeah, anything is possible. Today is your lucky day. That should be all of our mottos, Mike.
Well, how appropriate for what's coming up this week on Wednesday, and how appropriate in general. What a great way and what a great piece of resolve for our students and for our staff and faculty. So thank you, Lori.
You bet.
So we have a few updates, not too many today, and so we'll just get right down into those. From financial aid, it's not too late to complete the FAFSA for summer 21. Please use your 2018 income. The FAFSA is open for fall 21 and spring 22 as well. You can complete it now and get ready for fall of 21. Withdrawing from a class or a few classes can affect your satisfactory academic progress, so be sure to check with financial aid before you drop classes to see how you'll be impacted. Withdrawing from all classes will cause a payback to your financial aid, so contact financial aid to discuss the options and what the potential payback might actually look like.
All right, so continuing with some financial aid updates. So the last day to withdraw from full 16-week classes is March 29th. The last day to withdraw from late 8-week classes is April 16th. Work study positions are still available and open. Those positions start at $10.50 an hour. Hours can range anywhere from 10 to 19 per week, and they're flexible with your class schedules. So please contact financial aid to apply, or for questions, you can call 208-535-5447. Scholarship information, if you need information about scholarships, you can call 208-535-5616 or go to the financial aid or foundation office.
We have some exciting updates from our workforce training and continuing education group. The front-end software developer class begins March 24th. This tuition is $35.99. Boot camp is 18 weeks long and live online. But keep in mind, this, even though that's a high tuition, this is a very successful class that when you come out of it, you can be a developer. The construction combine will be April 7th and 8th in the Idaho Falls Home Depot parking lot. This 2-day event will include training in various construction skills and the opportunity to demonstrate your skills to local employers while building sheds that will be donated to local disabled veterans. You can register at the address that's on the screen. You can see that right up there, cei.edu/WTCE, and then events-and-camps. So check it out.
Yeah, that's an amazing event. Yeah, okay. So the Native Falcon Association, the NFA, is a student club which focuses on American Indian culture, education, traditions, literature, and people, and they're going to be holding a recruitment social. All are invited, whether they're Native or not. You can come and play virtual bingo and win some prizes. You can find out more about the club and perhaps a little bit about American Indian history. So what is it? Online virtual bingo. Anyone connected to CEI's community, students, faculty, and staff are all welcome. When March 17th from 11 to 1, where online through Zoom, and that link will be forthcoming through your CEI email. We're still doing almost all of our events virtually. We're hoping that we're going to get past that pretty soon. But to that end, I don't know if we have this in the updates later, but I'm just going to say it now. We can say it twice. I know everybody is really COVID fatigued. We're tired of masks. We're tired of physical distancing. We're tired of having to do everything virtually. However, we've got to keep wearing masks. We've got to keep that physical distancing, and we have to keep up the virtual events for now. Numbers in Bonneville County are rising, and so we want to make sure that we keep our campus, all of you guys, safe and our campus open. So just make sure you're still following all of those COVID procedures.
Couple quick updates about taxes. You have another month to do your taxes, but if you're interested, your 1098T tax information is available, and if you gave consent to view it online, it's available in self-service. If you didn't give consent, a paper copy was already mailed to the address that we have on file. If you have questions about that, you can contact the cashier's office, and really you can contact the cashier's office about any general cashiering questions at 524-3000 option 3. For any questions about 1098Ts, payment plans, or e-refunds, direct deposit is still available for refunds, and you can sign up for e-refunds to receive refunds directly deposited into your checking or savings account. So call that number if you have questions.
So there, right in the script that Mike sent to me, I should read the script ahead of time, is general COVID reminders. I'm supposed to be doing those. So I'm going to do them again. Be sure you're wearing your mask. Be sure you're physically distancing. Be sure you're washing your hands. Be sure you're doing those events virtually just for a little bit longer. Also, you can find any updates at, you can go to the CEI COVID website page. You can find out any updates, anything that's happening across campus with regard to COVID there. And as always, you can report any COVID-related questions or concerns, including positive tests, to the email we have set up. It's covid@cei.edu.
Also, the food pantry is fully stocked for any student in need of items to take home and grab-and-go meals for students on campus, or if there are any staff or faculty who are also struggling. This is really available to anybody in the Falcon community. Contact the Center for New Directions in Building 5, room 591, or call 535-5363 to make arrangements. Also, the Center for New Directions is currently hosting study strategy workshops, so watch your email for any updates on when they do those, and also watch your email for Mindful Mondays, which is coming from the Center for New Directions and the CEI Counseling Center.
All right, so CEI's fourth semester registered nursing student blood drive will be held at the American Red Cross Blood Donation Center, and that address is 1165 East 17th Street. It's going to be on Thursday, March 25th from 10 to 3. If you have questions, you can contact Melanie Monroe at 208-240-2230. She also has a CEI address. That's melanie.monroe@cei.edu. Or you can contact Dylan Webb, and his email address is dylan.webb@cei.edu.
And there we have it. Those are all of our updates. So thank you for tuning into those. And now we get to go to our special guests.
Yes, so that was super fast today, Mike. We're getting the speed of this. Yeah. All right, so we are thrilled to have a couple of people from our Job Corps here to talk to us just a little bit more about what's going on with all things Job Corps. So we've had Fernando Sandoval on our show before, and he is the senior coordinator of Job Corps. Today we also have with him Robert Ballinger, who is the workforce coordinator for Job Corps. So we are very excited for them to talk to us just a little bit more about what's going on with Job Corps. I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised about everything that they have going on. So Fernando and Robert, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to join us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
Yeah, good. All right, so I will just start, and then Mike and I will just alternate those questions. So Fernando, we'll start with you. I know you've been on the show before, and you've talked to us a little bit about your trajectory to what brought you to CEI, but why don't you just give us a quick overview about your background and, again, how you came to work at CEI?
Sure. So my background is in nonprofit work. So I worked for the Community Council of Idaho for 5 years, then I had a brief stint with the state. And now I'm here. So my education is I got my master's in public administration, so kind of where I want to be. So I'm really happy to be here at the College of Eastern Idaho. It's been a great place to work.
Well, we are really happy you're here.
Yes, indeed. And Robert, what is your background and how did you come to work at CEI? Now, we haven't had you on the show before, so you can go a little more in depth if you'd like.
Okay. Well, my background is in education. I got my bachelor's in English. I'm from Ohio. Got my bachelor's in English from Ohio University. I got my master's in education from Ohio State University. And I taught high school. I've taught high school in Ohio. I've taught high school in Nevada. And I've taught high school here in Idaho, just down the street at Idaho Falls High School. And I also worked as the National Speech and Debate Association coach for the last two high schools that I worked at. So Idaho Falls High School and Del Sol Academy of Performing Arts down in Las Vegas. And actually, my wife was taking classes here. And she went through the radiation safety program, and I wanted to kind of expand work and do some work in college, and it was right down the street. My wife had nothing but good things to say about it. She was actually a work study there as well.
For me.
Yeah, she worked right for you. And so it seemed like everything just kind of worked out.
Robert, are you alone in that room?
I am. You know what? Yeah, I guess I could take that off.
You can take your mask off if you like, if the door's closed. If you want to leave it on, that's fine too. No stress. But anyway, great. Well, thank you so much, Robert. It's great to hear that. I knew about those things, but it's good to hear a reminder, and I think it's great for our Falcon community to learn about both you and Fernando. So that's exciting.
So I have the next question. I'm really excited for this. So for either of you or both of you, maybe you both want to chime in a little bit on this. Job Corps has really changed even from how it was constructed and run 5 years ago. How is it different, and how can it serve more students under its current construction?
But did you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. And then you could add to it. So really the big difference for us is the non-residential side of the program. So traditionally Job Corps has its own residential centers where kids, live, breathe, and commit to Job Corps pretty much 24 hours a day. So we don't really have that, which has some benefits to it. So students can come here, get what they need to get done, and then, go home to whatever their housing situation is. The big thing is in Idaho is that they've partnered with the community colleges. So every community college in Idaho has a Job Corps program now. So I think that's fantastic. It's giving students an option to seek that additional training that they need and stay close to home. And the benefits of the community colleges around the state is they tend to be cheaper than your normal colleges or your universities, I should say. So I think that's a great thing. So yeah, that just allows us to offer more services to the students of Idaho. And then being with the College of Eastern Idaho or any of the colleges, you can take any of the programs offered at the College of Eastern Idaho, which I think is fantastic. Usually Job Corps centers are very focused on what they offer. They're starting to expand a little bit more with the partnerships that they offer at the national level. But the fact that you can come to College of Eastern Idaho, take anything that's offered here, and that includes workforce training, I think it's something that really benefits our student, no matter what type of student you are. So to me, that's the big differences.
Yeah, and I'd say that's that is 100%. It's kind of rather than the Job Corps centers nationwide. You're almost signing up with Job Corps. You kind of enlist with Job Corps, right? You go there, you live there, you eat there, you train there. If you have kids, somebody has to watch your kids, and it makes such a huge difference. So really, we are focused on removing barriers to enrolling at the colleges rather than somebody kind of rerouting their whole life so they can go live on this center. So they can still live at home. They go home to their kids every night, but they get access to everything that College of Eastern Idaho has. And College of Eastern Idaho is already probably better than any college I've ever interacted with, set up to really support students. So for those students who still have some kind of barrier that the college can't necessarily serve, or they don't, the student doesn't know how to find help with, we can help with a lot of those things, rather than, sure, you can come to Job Corps, but you're going to have to turn your whole life around to do it.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'm going to direct this question to Robert. What is the ideal student for Job Corps?
I would say the ideal student for Job Corps is somebody who really wants to maximize their future. So Job Corps, it is extra work to be in Job Corps, but there are a lot of extra benefits. So we work with life skills classes. We work with job training and preparation. We work with community service and physical fitness. health classes, activities in the community. So it is really for a student who I want to take advantage of every part of that. I want to be healthier. I want to have contributed to my community. I want to do all of these things while getting my college education that I couldn't do on my own. I like to think that it's really more about removing barriers. So it's a student who wants to make sure that they have taken advantage of every possibility offered to them.
Maybe I
and
could
knows
also
the power there.
Maybe I could also. That's awesome. Maybe I could also get the contact information. Could you share what number and what website they should go to if they want to get a hold of you guys, or how they should, or however you think they should get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are on the college's website. I don't know the website off the top of my head, but it's under programs of study. Job Corps is right there under programs of study, and then they can call either Fernando or myself. My phone number here at the college is 535-5326, and Fernando's is 535-5389. And Fernando's just put the website in the chat. And we are both happy to help you. Take you on tours, introduce you to our staff, our case specialist, our health and activities coordinator, and really find out what all those advantages that you can get through the program are.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that age range is 16 to 24 for the Job Corps program.
Yep.
Okay. So, Fernando, I guess I will direct this next question to you. What all services? There are a lot of services. Robert just mentioned some. But what are the services that are offered to students enrolled in the Job Corps program?
Sure, and I think this is what kind of separates Job Corps and what really adds benefit to what we do here. So some of the services that we offer, intensive case management. So if you're one of those students that is new to college, you want someone to kind of help you guide through that process, career planning, course planning, like, hey, I want to do this. What does that look like? Your case manager, you have to meet with weekly. She will lay down the groundwork for you to make sure that you know exactly what that pathway looks like for you. So we can, best prepare you for that career path. Meals and mileage are something that we provide. So College of Eastern Idaho has a nice little cafeteria here. So you can get up to 3 meals a day. If transportation is an issue or the cost to get to campus can be expensive, we can cover your mileage. We can also help with tuition and fees. There is a low income requirement for the program. So most students are going to probably get some pretty substantial financial aid, but if there is something else or if it doesn't cover it, we can pick up the rest of the cost. We can also cover some additional costs. I think this is really important, especially for students that are going into the trades and things like that. Your tools are really expensive. It can be up to like $4,000, $5,000 for that. So, and that is something that we can help out with. That's a huge help for students. And especially for the automotive program, as you get out, you're expected to have your own tools. So to be able to have that already covered is fantastic. So your intensive case management, career exploration. Robert works with students as they're going through the program. You're interested in something, but you don't know really what that looks like. Robert can help set up job shadowing opportunities or even internships to make sure that you are getting an idea of what it really looks like to be in that career. Job Corps, our main goal is to get students into, a university, get them a job, or get them into the military. So, and the goal is a $15 to $16 an hour job. So we want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. It would be a bummer because the program is only 3 to 24 months. So we want to get you where you're going kind of in a short period of time. So the more research and kind of experiences with different employers can help get you where you need to get quicker, as opposed to kind of, wasting time searching for different things. So that's really the services. It's the intensive case management, some of the financial assistance, your case manager, and then, of course, all the services that are offered here at the College of Eastern Idaho. I think that's why it's so good that the program is offered through here, because College of Eastern Idaho is so student-centered and they have experience already working with students. So we're really leveraging what's already here to provide the assistance that students need. So, tutoring, counseling, all that stuff.
That's great.
That's really great. And so it's for students who want to transfer. It's to a university, students who want a job, students who want to go into military. It's not just a one track that we're putting Job Corps students on. It's really up to the student, and we'll help you find what that track is, what you're interested in. But it's not just one thing that if you come to Job Corps, then you're going to be in this track, right? It's very wide. It's really open for a lot of students with a lot of different interests.
Absolutely. That's really well said. Yeah, it's a lot of people tend to think of Job Corps as, oh, I'm going to get a trade, or I'm going to get, like, that's great. And CEI is a great place for that. But there's also those students that, want to get their associates and transfer. So yeah, absolutely. We can help a variety of students.
Perfect. Thank you.
I like hearing about all of the options. So along those same lines, Robert, are Job Corps students considered CEI students, and why is that important?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really that's kind of the whole point of doing it this way. We're not really running a separate program. That's a question that I get all the time. I'll present the whole thing to students. I'll present the whole thing to somebody, and then they'll go, okay, well, what can I sign up for? Or like, what programs do you offer? And we're like, now we teach health classes and we teach life skills classes and things like that. But other than that additional stuff, it is all through you guys. It is the College of Eastern Idaho. What do you want to do here? College of Eastern Idaho is already set up teaching some of the highest industry, some of the highest paying, some of the highest desired trades, industries, programs anywhere in the area. So we are 100% leveraging that. The students, they are your students. They are College of Eastern. They are our students. They are College of Eastern Idaho students who have signed up for extra support and extra preparation through Job Corps. You want to come in, finish your GED, start off in the auto program, and while you're doing that, you want to get workforce training certificates in welding. I have a student who's looking at doing exactly that. He is leveraging College of Eastern Idaho classes and courses at every possible point, and then we are providing that extra support for him.
Yeah, that's really neat. That's a phenomenal addition. I like it.
So it's not Job Corps over here, and then you're just housed on our campus. Job Corps students are College of Eastern Idaho students.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we really want to get that message across. So,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. All right, so I would like to maybe hear from both of you. I'll start with Fernando. So Fernando, for a student who struggled with school in the past, what advice would you give them, and how can Job Corps help with that? I realize we've touched on that a little, but let's just go a little deeper into that question.
Yeah, so if I think if a student has struggled in the past, the first thing is, don't give up, don't get down on yourself. What's happened in the past has happened in the past. And if you're on campus now, what resources help with that, right? The tutoring center is fantastic. They are always available. So it's, accessing the resources that are currently available and know how to access those. So go to your counselors, find out like, hey, I'm struggling with this. What can I do? The counselors here are fantastic. They will connect you with what you need. So if you're struggling, seek help. Don't just try to, fight through it yourself, and get help early. If you're struggling in a class during the semester, don't wait until after midterms to seek help. Go to your teacher's office hours that week. Get the help that you need. Yeah. So that's my main thing is seek the help, actively seek it quickly, because there does come a point where there's just, the math doesn't line up. You know what I mean? So that would be my main recommendation, and is seek the support that's out there and give yourself a break. I know it's frustrating to struggle, but that's all right. Just get the resources that you need and put in the effort.
Awesome. Robert, what advice do you have?
Well, like I said, I used to teach high school. And I would add to that, it is never too long term. It is never too late. It is never too late to go back and get help. Now, realistically, it might be too late for this semester. I have had students come to me, 3 weeks before finals with, a 35% in class. And they're like, man, how am I going to pass the class? And I'm like, honestly, you're not. But just because you're not going to pass it this time doesn't mean you can't come back next time.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you can't ask your teacher sooner next time. It does, like Fernando said, reach out and find those resources. It is never too late. Just because you struggled before, or even if you failed before, it is never too late to reach out to that support, come back, try again, do better this time. Find out, like, man, last time I totally don't know how to take notes. And I realized that 5 minutes before the final when I was trying to cram and I had nothing to cram with, right? But there are classes that Job Corps offers on note-taking. There's classes that college or Center for New Directions offers on note-taking. There are so many supports at the schools and the communities with the different resources. It is, 55. I've known people that are in their 50s that are going back to get their GED because they want to get a new career. It is never too late. Just because you have struggled or failed or fallen behind in the past doesn't mean you can't still succeed.
So, Robert, sorry, Mike, I'm just going to say I always have something to say, right? So I love that it's never too late. And I don't know if any of you guys have read the book, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. So he always wanted to be an author. It's a fabulous book just about the arts and the importance of the arts. Anyway, he always wanted to be an author, and he struggled, and he went from job to job and never held a job very long. And at 55, he published his first book. Now he's a bestseller. He's been interviewed by all sorts of fabulous people. So it's never, ever, 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 ever too late.
Well, and even, I know she probably doesn't want to appreciate me doing this, but even our own Vice President, Lori Barber, is an example of somebody who came back and finished her education later in life and has had a soaring career because of it. So, I mean, there's lots of examples of that everywhere you look. And whether you're a young student and a traditional student or a non-traditional student, and you're, middle-aged or you're whatever, our main demographic really is 18 to 35. But we have students who are older than that as well. So we do have a couple questions in the chat. I don't know. One person just asking, what is this about? And saying hello to Robert as well. What is this about? Just to quickly address that. We're talking about Job Corps as a quick reminder. Job Corps, which is a program for students to try and to learn and to do more with their career and potential career. So the next question I think is also for both of you. We'll start this time with Robert. And then Fernando can chime in on anything else that he might want to add. How are you growing the Job Corps program at CEI?
Well, so that's kind of my job. In addition to sort of being our admissions counselor, I'm our outreach person. And so we're working with CEI, obviously, in programs like this. We're working with creative resources and student admissions and advising and things. To kind of get the word out, let students that are enrolling at the college already know that there's a support program there for them to help remove some of those barriers that they might have. But we're also working with high schools. I was I was the National Speech and Debate Association coach for Idaho Falls High School. So I've worked with staff in almost every high school in the state at some point or another. And I have no shame leveraging those. They've all received texts from me at some point. Some of the old coaches are like, man, it's this guy again. Working with counselors and administrators. I know administrators in a few of the buildings too. We're working with community groups and outreach programs. We've done presentations with church groups. Fernando gave a presentation with the stake presidency for LDS. And some of the training facilities too, and the unions and the different apprenticeship programs. We had Matt from Workforce Training come talk to one of our students about one of the union options the other day. We've got, I think tomorrow actually, we've got one of the construction union presentations is coming down to meet with our students. Later in the week, we're going down to one of the facilities in Pocatello. So we're kind of reaching out to every high school community group, training group that we can to make sure that we have those resources for our students and that as many students that might benefit from the program as possible hear about us.
That's really wonderful. Thank you. And Fernando, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Sure, but that's exactly right. We're trying to reach as many people as possible, trying to grow our network to make sure that we have as many options for students. One of the other areas that we're trying to focus on growth is our relationships with employers and things like that. So one of Robert's job after the fact of being the admissions counselor and getting the outreach done is helping students get a job. I mean, Job Corps, right? So our whole goal is to get them a job. So we really want to grow our network with employers and make sure that we can start having, those pipelines and things like that to employers. So hopefully over the next 5 years, we actually start to create a robust offering for our students and relationships with employers in the area and have a reputation as a solid program that students that complete Job Corps are ready to rock and roll when they're done. So that's hopefully what we can grow the program into.
That's awesome. Wow, really great. And will be exciting to see where it goes. All right, so for each of you, and Fernando, we'll just start with you. Who is one person you admire and why?
That's a great question. I like to see this. I'm going to say my mom and dad. I see them as kind of as a unit, but my mom and dad are a lot of inspiration for me. They came to this country with nothing and built a nice little lives for themselves, and have always been really supportive of me and my education. So it's by far my mom and dad. I'm really proud of what they've done. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Fernando. Robert?
She's gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me for this. Don't tell her, Mike. I am so impressed with my wife and the things that she has done. She has worked in several different careers. She's gone back to school several times, and she has never once settled. It was never, okay, I guess this is the training that I got, so this is the career that I'm going to be in. If that career wasn't working out or wasn't meeting her expectations, or she didn't find passion in that, then she went back to school and she found a new career. And so she has worked as a sign language interpreter. She's worked as in special ed education, and now she is working. She's working in the radiation safety field. She just left Case Labs, which she got hired and walked in knowing more about the radiation safety equipment there than anybody except her supervisor, and now she's transferred over to the INL. And yeah, I'm just so impressed. What's that?
I'm really thrilled to hear that. I was wondering when that would happen, so I'm thrilled. Yeah, we wanted to keep her here, but there was no way we could financially do it.
Are you not going to pay her more than the INL?
No. That's actually the funniest thing I've heard today. But no, that's wonderful. Those are great inspirations. I think it's important to find those sources close to home. So that's really great. Okay, so I have the next question for each of you. We'll start with Fernando this time, and then we'll go to Robert again. So for each of you, where do you see Job Corps at CEI in 5 years?
That's a good question. Hopefully in 5 years, the program has grown to be a stable program here at the college where students know that they can come in here and get the support that they need to be successful here. And then I guess more importantly, in 5 years, it'd be great for the program to be kind of a staple to the community where employers know that they can get and hire reliable people out of here. That would be my main goal. What we're doing here, guys, is really offering people a way to secure a better life for themselves. And that's powerful stuff and important stuff. So if our program can be kind of a stable force in the community for that, would be huge. So that's really my goal, is for students that and the community to know, hey, if you're struggling or if you need extra help, go to Job Corps. They will take care of you. They will put you in a place to succeed. I would love that in 5 years, if that's what people think of when they think of CEI and Job Corps.
It's amazing.
And Robert, what are your thoughts?
I was thinking about this morning, and Fernando and I have talked about this. There's kind of a stigma for Job Corps, that it's sort of like the last resort. Like, oh, you weren't successful in college, you weren't successful in high school, we're going to put you in Job Corps, and they're almost like the military boot camp of like, they're going to whip you into shape, sort of a thing. And what I would really like is to be the first choice instead of the last resort of, I'm going to go to Job Corps because I want to go to CEI or CWI or CSI or any of the others. I'm going to go to Job Corps because they're going to make sure that I get the education that I want at that community college, and they're also going to make sure that I've got connections in the community from community service, and that I'm healthy when I get out from health and activities, and that I've got no debt starting out, and I've got a little bit of pocket change, and I want to be that first choice.
Oh, and Robert, thanks for mentioning that. Laura, you mentioned benefits of the program. I forgot to mention that students actually receive a small stipend for completing their weekly requirements of the program. So another bonus for students. It's not a lot of money, but you can get about $100 a month. So, hey, that's your cell phone bill or whatever for the month. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And I love what both of you guys said about where you see it, and that idea that it's the first choice and not the last resort. Robert. Really, really great stuff. All right, so we are at our last question. It's kind of the last question we ask all of our guests. So either one of you can take it. I don't care who starts, but I'd like to hear from both of you. What parting words of wisdom do you have for our students?
I'll go first. So I'd like people to know that you absolutely, whatever your situation in life, you can get the training and education that you need. Whether it be through CEI, whether it be through Job Corps, whether it be from some other support program. An old coworker and friend of mine years ago used to work helping homeless people get their degrees. There is support for you. There is help for you. There is funding. There are programs. You can go out and get the training that you want. You can get the job that you want. You can get the education for the job that you want. It might take you a while. You might have to make a few calls before you find the right person or the right support program. And they might bounce you back and forth to a couple of different programs to figure out who can help you the most. But there is help out there.
Fernando? Thanks, Robert. That's great.
Yeah, I think that's great. And kind of in line with that is keep at it. You know, there's going to be bumps along the road. Don't get frustrated and give up. Sometimes we forget how close we are to actually achieving our goals, but we give up because of bumps in the road and things like that. And all those bumps in the road, those frustrations, they're just making you better, the next time. You're learning from those bumps in the road. You're learning from, okay, I didn't study well this time. And okay, now I understand what it really takes to be successful in this program. So just keep at it and learn from those mistakes and seek the help that's available to you. Because like Robert said, and I think as kind of the point of some of these things is to let people know what resources are available to them, right? So take advantage of those things. These people are here to help you. It's literally their jobs to help you. So don't feel bad about securing that assistance.
And just a plug for our normal helplines, right? So, and in the same vein of what Robert and Fernando have shared today, general CEI questions, 208-524-3000, option 4, or student.concern@cei.edu. Any kind of concern, any kind of question, we will direct you where you need to go. Admissions, advising, Job Corps, financial aid, the cashier's office, wherever. I mean, we want to help you and help you find success. And if it's not at CEI, we want to help you find success. We think it can be at CEI.
We're pretty sure it can be.
Pretty sure it can be, but in
almost 100% sure.
Almost 100 more than 100%.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know what I was just saying there, so that was weird. But thank you so much to our wonderful guests. Any other thoughts, Lori?
No, so thank you so much, Robert and Fernando. We really appreciate you coming on the show, and we appreciate all you're doing to grow Job Corps. It is a wonderful addition to CEI. Students, I think the overarching thing that we can take away from their interview is really believe in yourself. You know what? If you believe in yourself and just don't let anybody tell you, oh, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that, you can make things happen. And CEI and Job Corps are here to help you make those things happen. So that's it, Mike.
Well, thank you so much, Lori. Again, I'm thankful to our guests, Fernando Sandoval and Robert Ballinger from CEI Job Corps for joining us today. And of course, as always, Vice President Lori Barber. And and yes, you're welcome. And
Sorry.
You're fine. And I am Dean Mike Walker. We hope you students have a great week. And if you have any more questions, you know where to reach us. And we will see you soon. So have a great week.
Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.